The service industry is under attack. This is one of the worst times to be a security guard if you don't have experience. So if you're new, please get out, do something else. If you're a veteran in security, please carry some PPE. This is Advancing Security Guard News. It's your boy, Passionate Security Guard. Today, we're going to have two stories. One is about a fallen guard who was killed this weekend on duty. His name was Derek Phillips. Mr. Phillips died while working at a lounge. And then the second story is about how a family of a deceased guard is suing Mark Zuckerberg. The purpose of this video is not to talk down or bad about any guard. It is to highlight the complications of this job. Our first story comes from Fox 4 KDFW. Security guard fatally shot during arguments at DeSoto Lounge. This was published August 20th, 2022.
Police are investigating the shooting death of a security guard killed at a restaurant bar last night. Signs on the front doors of Brick House Lounge say they'll be closed this weekend in honor of Derek Phillips. Club owners tell Fox 4 the 47-year-old bouncer was unarmed when the suspect shot Phillips because of an argument about lounge smoking rules. After Phillips was shot, DeSoto police say someone close to Phillips shot the suspect, 48-year-old Tussel Kuhn. Kuhn drove away, but eventually crashed his vehicle in Glen Heights before being arrested. A mugshot for Kuhn is currently unavailable because he is in custody in a hospital. DeSoto police say he is sedated following overnight surgery and is listed as critical. Detectives have been unable to interview him at this point in time, but he is charged with first-degree murder.
All right, guys, so from what the news say, Derek Phillips was an unarmed guard and he was confronted with an armed situation. He was just trying to enforce or guide clients towards the policy of the establishment. I think it's very important for us to realize, that for doing our job, we can get hurt. This is why we need to abolish unarmed guard. And I know there's 80% or more of security is unarmed, and I have nothing against being unarmed. I want to say, or better yet, the guards are unarmed. I have something against the system of its overbelief that nothing can ever happen to a security guard. That's my problem with the industry. You work in a lounge, you're around alcohol, you're in the public space. That's one of the spaces you should be armed. It's not like it's a private office, where you have maybe 20 employees and you're just one guard. You know everybody face to face. Everybody knows each other's name. It's not a small company. When you're working in the public, you're opening up yourself to a lot of dangerous situations. And it reminds me of 2020 when guards were getting, deleted just to keep it a little bit cleaner for asking people to put on masks. What was that about? Like I said in my last video about the taxi driver who got killed in NYC, the service industry is under attack. This is one of the worst times to be a security guard if you don't have experience. So if you're new, please get out, do something else. If you're a veteran in security, please carry some PPE. If you can't carry a firearm, carry a pepper spray, carry a flashlight that you can use as a defensive tool. Do something, get some training, do some basic push-ups to increase your physical fitness, so you can be better combat ready. I'm not saying that's going to solve every problem, but it can solve a lot of them. Alright guys, the following story comes from Independent. Family sues Mark Zuckerberg after he offered $7,500 in death of security guard at Hawaii compound. This was written by Johanna C. 3 days ago. So the lawsuit claims that Zuckerberg offered $7,500 to the family of Rodney Medeiros, 70 years old, guys, who died while working at their Hawaiian property in 2019. So this is a little bit, of a history here because this is a little bit long, right? Guys, I apologize for the technical difficulties. Let me read it for you. The 7-year-old retired sugarcane worker had been brought on as the part of the social media executive security detail, where he was responsible for patrolling the Pilar Beach, which was located at the bottom of a steep hill of their 1,412-acre compound in Kauai. Medeiros, I am pronouncing that name wrong and I apologize to the family, had his deadly heart attack while making the trek from the beach back to the compound amid heavy rain, according to the lawsuit, which asserts that Zuckerberg's company could have prevented his death if the vehicle that normally brought him back to the hill had been fitted with tires for inclement weather. So guys, this security guard who passed away used to be taken to his spot with a vehicle. Mind you, he's 70 years old. They did not fit the vehicle with the proper tires to pick him up during heavy rain. I'm not sure what type of terrain they had, but it makes it sound like there was a lot of mud, and the vehicle they used for that specific area wouldn't be able to make the trip. However, the security guard still had to do his patrol. Nobody had the foresight, and this is my problem with security, because security has to count on other people doing SOPs. Nobody had the power of foresight or the ability of foresight to see an issue with this happening. And I think personally, based on the information I've got so far in this article, the lawsuit is just. And I feel this is a great example for guards to step up when it comes to lawsuit, depending on the situation. And these things need to be public so that we can have change among the security guard industry. The family say that the Zuckerbergs gave them a check for $7,500 following Medeiros' death, but they believe his life is worth far more than that, and they should. They definitely should. The daughter of Medeiros told Hawaii News Now that her father would be driven to his station at the beginning of each shift and would be escorted back up the hill at the end. Guys, they already set the precedent of how things are done there. The SOP, standard operational procedure, based on the routine. Maybe it's not written, but it's already a routine, guys, that they enforce by driving that guard up and down. You could call it a hookup or whatever, but they set the standard of practice. Maybe it's not written, but they're already doing it. That's why I think this lawsuit is just. Now remember, I'm not a lawyer, guys. I'm just some crazy dude with a cell phone recording stuff. They would take him with a Kawasaki mule and drive him to his spot. And when his shift was over, they would go down and pick him up and bring him back up, said Ziba Medeiros to the local news outlet. On 19 August, Ms. Medeiros noted how heavy rain began to fall, and by the end of his shift at 6 p.m., the road to reach her father had become difficult to maneuver with the vehicle on the property, which thus forced the 70-year-old man to make that long trek up the steep hill by foot. Does this make sense? Make it make sense, guys. Again, these companies don't care about you, so you have to create your personal standard operational procedures and try to make things fit along with the SOPs of the company and the clients. This is why I share this news. It's a cliff. It's a cliff, Miss Medeiros told the news outlet, highlighting how she'd been told that it drops on both sides. A separate security guard hired by the Zuckerbergs grew worried when he realized that his co-worker had not returned from the bottom of the hill after some time had passed. And when he went out to search for Medeiros, he found him leaning up against a tree and clutching his chest. If I'm not mistaken, this is the gentleman right there. 70-year-old died. Such a lively looking guy, man. He looks very youthful. Very youthful there. Guys, you can read the rest of this article. I think so far is just, and what they paid was very, very little for this guy's family for their loss. When you have that much money, you can't afford to make these type of mistakes because it just destroys your brand. I am surprised this happened with the Zuckerbergs. I feel bad for this guard that we've lost, but I'm happy that his family is going through with the lawsuit. That's it. That's that, guys. If you found value in this video, please press like, leave a comment down below saying thank you, gracias. And again, if you see the PayPal donation button eventually in my videos and on my channel, so definitely donate if you have it. If you don't, I will settle for a like and a comment saying gracias. Adios, chao. Lo quiero mucho. The following story is about how a... Whoa.